You're joking, aren't you? It's the Teesside Chef. Hot shot scones with jalapenos and chorizo, so hold on to your hats because this is a world first, probably. And if that doesn't get you bubbling over with excitement, then you've obviously got more going on in your life than I have. But even though I might be a little bit sad, I still make really good scones. And these ones begin with 600 grams of all-purpose flour, and I'm adding 4 teaspoons of baking powder to that, and that's about 20 grams. And 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and around 1/3 of a teaspoon of pepper. And let's get really fancy now with a teaspoon of dried oregano and 2 tablespoons of parmesan cheese. And I guess we can give these a little bit of a shake now, but it won't do much good like. And then we need to blitz these dry ingredients to incorporate them really well. And you can do this with your hands, of course, but having a machine to do all the work for you is great, and they make fantastic kitchen companions, even if they're not great conversationalists. But anyway, once we've mixed our dry ingredients really well, we need to go in with 150 grams of cold cubed butter next, and you do want cold butter here, if you want the flakiest scones in all of Christendom, of course. And then our machine is going to pull up trees again for us here, because we're going to blitz all this to a breadcrumby type texture. And again, you can do this with your hands too, but you do need to take your hands off and put them in the freezer for about 17 minutes first. And I'm just going to dive in there now and check that the texture is uniform and there are no huge lumps of butter. And it looks good, so let's crack on, eh? And I tell you what, let's get the sharp blades out of our machine here, because even though these scones are cutting edge, we don't want to take that too literally. And you'll need a nice big bowl here to tip these dry ingredients into before we press on. And I have 100 grams of grated cheddar cheese to add in here, and it's not quite as much as I would normally put in cheese scones, but it nearly is, and it still gives a nice cheesy flavour to these hot shot scones. So let's give that a good stir into our dry ingredients to give it a good coating. And next I have 75 grams of finely chopped cured chorizo, and I have cooked that very gently for a few minutes first to render out the fat, and then I've let it cool, and getting a little nugget of chorizo while eating these scones is an absolute joy. And for some heat, I have 50 grams of jalapenos here, and they've been finely chopped, and this amount of jalapenos and chorizo can be adjusted to suit your tastes. But either way, at this point, give it a good stir and don't overdo it is my advice. So as it's going pretty well so far and I haven't lost the plot yet, let's get 300 millilitres of milk in here now, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of mustard to that and whisk it all up really, really well, because that mustard just loves to stick on the sides here and we can't be having that. And when we're sure that the mustard is all mixed in, we can go ahead and pour that mustardy milk into our bowl. And that mustardy milk might not be very good in tea, but it's really, really good with these scones. And once that's all in there, we need to get a big spoon to slowly bring this together at first, because it's as sticky as a sticky thing in Sticky Town at this point. And we want to be quite gentle while we're doing this, because we don't want to activate too much of that gluten in the flour. But now that most of that liquid's been incorporated into our dry ingredients, we can dive in with our fighting hammers and begin to knead this a little bit to bring it together. Be gentle here though, you're not kneading bread. Try to imagine that you're playfully scratching a cat's back, or trying to grab hold of a cloud. And once it's all come together, we're ready to get it out and start rolling it. So let's get some baking paper in, and I've given it a light dusting of flour. You don't need too much flour at this point, so don't overdo it. And let's get the mix on there. And give the top a light dusting of flour as well, but again, you don't need much flour here because this recipe's perfectly calibrated. And as it's really soft, you can flatten it down with your hands a bit first before rolling it out. And if you see some cracks, try to even them out a little bit with a bit of pressure. And then roll the mix out. And you want to roll this scone mixture to the thickness of about 1 centimetre and try and get it as even as possible. But I'm sure you know that already, don't you? And give it a quarter turn every now and again to help with this process. And every now and again, tidy the edges with the palm of your hand, make it look all neat there. But that looks pretty good to me at this point, so I'm going to crack on with the next really important bit, because now we want to fold the mix over, and this is a great way to ensure that your scones can be easily broken apart, and adds a bit of theatre to the whole experience, I find, if that's not too pretentious. And it's always a good idea to brush off any excess flour as you go, and again you want to tidy the edges around a bit because we want to cut these out as close to this edge as possible, and we don't want our scones all raggedy, do we? And then we want to make sure that the mix is as even as possible to a thickness of around 2 centimetres. And now we can cut these out, and I have a 5 centimetre cutter here because I'm making these scones quite small for snackability, but you can make these as big as you like because this recipe is bulletproof. And I have a bit of flour in a bowl that I'm dipping my cutter into to stop these sticking too much. And when you are ready to pull the cutter out, don't twist, pull it straight out to give these scones a better chance of rising straight up rather than falling over drunk like I do when I've had a couple of baby shams. And then you can just crack on and cut the rest out, remembering not to twist, and I can't emphasise that enough. And there'll be plenty of excess left over from cutting out these round scones, which kind of makes a strong case for making scones square, really, because you could do this really smart with a square cutter. But hey, these hot shot scones are already avant-garde enough without changing the shape, so I'm going to follow convention, because I don't want any complaints from you lot. And I'm bringing in one of my already cut scones here to compare the thickness to the excess mix that I've re-rolled. So let's get more of these lovely hot shot scones cut out of this mix here. Whoa, we're right trendsetters here with these, you know. And then we can load all these gems on this baking tray, and we're almost ready to bake these off now. So let's get them in so that you can see them here, because it's no good if I do this bit off camera. And before we fire them in the oven, we need to brush the tops with beaten egg, and that will make them lovely and golden on top. But try not to get too much down the sides of your scones here. I know it's tough with this slimy egg-like, but hey, life throws up these little challenges to us, and we just have to overcome them, don't we? So give your heads a shake and pull yourselves up by your bootstraps and just crack on brushing the top of these scones with this egg mix, eh? And you don't have to fart about with it too much like I'm doing here, but you can if you want. And once all your scones are brushed well on top with the beaten egg here, I'm going to make these scones absolutely world-beating by sprinkling on some parmesan cheese, and that's going to make these scones look as pretty as a picture. And they do say that the first bite is with the eyes, don't they? And even though my eyes don't have any teeth, I still like to add a bit of freshly ground black pepper here to make these look even better. And then we need to let the scones sit before we put them in the oven for about 20 minutes to have a rest. And I'm baking these smallish ones for 16 minutes at 200 degrees fan, but large ones will need around 25 minutes, and as you can see there, they're lovely and golden on top and underneath, and they've risen really nicely. And let's get older one and give you a nice close-up, and these do smell absolutely amazing. And even though these are still hot from the oven, I'm going to crack one open for you to have a look at, and you can see how flaky they are, and that is the perfect texture. And the deep golden colour on the top and underneath, like I said, will tell you that these are baked beautifully. And all that's left to do now is to get them smashed into you. And you could be one of the first people in the world to eat hot shot scones here. After me, of course. See you later, Trailblazers. Ta-ra.